what did you think of what you saw today?
I loved the way. Well, I don't know. I think the initial part would have made Joe Rowling proud, because the way you really make fun of. Well, you have all these letters coming out of the dishwasher and stuff like that, and I thought that was great. I think what I enjoyed the most was how you have all the surroundings, which you really play with a lot, and I think that's really the Harry Potter spirit. So.
We are very, very true
Yeah.
to the world of Harry Potter and the world, that wonderful world that's created in the books. We love that world. We're in that world. Being made of Lego does enable us to play with that world, and to enable children as well to come along and play in that world in a way that they haven't been able to before. And we're very lucky to be able to do that.
So has there been any involvement of other people who are doing Harry Potter stuff? So whether it's the movie people, or maybe Joe Rowling, or the EA people?
So, for sure, I mean, we love Harry Potter. We're fans.
Yeah.
We try always to stay true to Harry Potter, but because we're going into some areas that have not been seen before. Yeah. For example, we go into the Slytherin. We know all of Hogwarts is there. You can go into the Slytherin common room.
Yeah.
No one's seen that before. We build our idea of what that might be like, but it's very important that other people who know and love Harry Potter can sort of help us and nudge us in the right direction, and where we may have missed something or put something inappropriate, they can just help us sort that out. So yeah, everyone at Warner Brothers Interactive and on the Christopher Little side as well with the books and with J.K. Rowling has been incredibly supportive and very, very helpful to try and help us get everything just right.
Cool. So what's the part you're most proud of from the Harry Potter point of view, not from the technical point of view?
Okay. I would talk more from a game point of view.
Yeah.
You know that I love the character of Fang.
Yeah.
as a controllable character. It's wonderful. Being a wizard and being able to control Lego and build with Lego in a new way is really, really powerful and exciting. And a lot of the game is about that magical building. But a lot of the fun as well comes from the characters who are not so prominent, like Fang, who I love.
Yeah, so this is years 1 to 4. What are the plans for years 5, 6 and 7?
The plans are to finish years 1 to 4.
Okay.
That's entirely our work and everything we live and breathe at the moment.
Okay. And, well, assuming it's the success you hope it will be, would you like to do...
We assume nothing.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'm not just trying to put you off, but we really do assume nothing.
Okay.
We cannot become complacent. We have to always work so hard to make sure that we live up to the expectations of people. I mean, people like you, if you haven't played many games before, there's such a responsibility on us to make this a good experience for you, and it's hard work.
So wasn't it tough getting all 4 years into only one game? Because so far there's been, 6 years, 7 games, including the Quidditch one. So this is really much more condensed. How did you deal with that?
That's right. It's a process we're quite used to with some of the other games that we've made in the past, distilling down a lot of story to bring out the key events, to really hit the emotional points that are important, and also build out gameplay around them. Yeah. So actually distilling, because the stories are well structured, because the characters are very clear and diverse and distinctive, because the drama is well built for us, it was a process that was very natural, actually. The locations are diverse. We can go to different places and see different things, and it's so much is there in the books already for us just to lift out.
Great. So you mentioned there's level building in the games. Mm-hmm. How does that work?
When you play with Lego, and you've had Lego Harry Potter sets in the past, you get a box. Yeah. Which has got the Hogwarts Castle or Hagrid's Hut. It's a set which is one area, one model. If you buy several of those, you can mix them up. Yeah. And it's the same idea in the Lego game. You unlock the characters, you unlock the bricks, you unlock the models, and then you can mix them up and arrange them however you want and take the bricks apart and build your own objects.
Excellent. Yeah. So also there's been... Well, you talked quite a bit about how different characters have different abilities and so on. So, how did you were you trying to make up special tasks so that you can include all the characters from the books, or was it the other way around?
So clearly, Harry and Hermione and Ron are the major focus of much of the story game, most of the story gameplay. So our focus was on them. Yeah. for the main spells that you will learn, and therefore the main gameplay puzzles that you'll have in the story. But then we also build around that lots of extra abilities for when you get control of the powerful members of staff, of the animals, of the bad guys, the bad characters as well. So we build those out around the core ideas of the main students.
So playing with the bad guys, for example, it's just for fun. You don't actually need them to perform any tasks, do you?
It depends what kind of a gamer you are. For some people, to play a Lego game means they have to discover everything. Okay. They have to find every detail.
Frequently, you have to use some of those characters.
That's right. So if you want to discover everything, you'll need to be everybody.
Okay. Hogwarts is a pretty big place.
It is.
How did you go about actually getting a coherent castle in the game? So having, I don't know, being able to go from one place to another, they need to be quite close and so on.
They do. That was quite a that was a major design challenge early on, was to make Hogwarts easy to navigate, but still with the scope that you would expect, where you can go to so many different places. And it's like a design job. It's a fitting together and a sort of a nudging together. So we start first and foremost to make a game that's easy to play. So you don't have to travel too far. Things are logically arranged in a way that will make sense when you play the game. And then we add the colour and make them fit, so that they are also what you would recognise from the films that you've seen or from any layouts that you may have imagined in your head from the books. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. That was my question. And so, could you tell me what the favourite thing in the Harry Potter books is? Well, your favourite thing is that you managed to include in the game, and what your favourite thing is that you didn't manage to include in the game. I genuinely think we've got everything in. I mean, really, even if the slightest wink or nudge or just hint or something, I think you'll find a lot of stuff there. The very favourite thing. There is too much to love right now, unfortunately. I mean, there is too much. Okay.
Does Ginny have any special powers?
Ginny has lots of magical powers. I'm not sure she has a particular ability to charm, if that's what you suggest. She doesn't have any particular power over any individual character, other than what may be in your imagination.
Not mine.
More of mine. So there's also a lot of, romance and stuff like that going on in the books. Well, starting book 4. Can you include that in a video game?
Well, I hope you saw in some of the cutscenes, some of the storytelling sequences we showed, that we can do it very lightly. Yeah. We can, if you know the story from the books and you know the relationships of the characters and you know what happens in the end and you know how they feel about each other, that will be in your mind when you see, for example, Ginny smile. You will. That will all come with you. The story comes from you there, so we can hint at it. We don't have to explain everything because we don't need to. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, we just need to make everything clear enough for you to be able to play the game and become part of the world.
So was it more designed towards a Harry Potter fan, towards a video games fan, towards a Lego fan?
Well, again, it's absolutely all of those. We bring those together, and that's the job that we do. We make it so that a Lego fan will enjoy the way in which we've used the bricks, and with the way that we've built the castle, and the way that we've built the objects, that a video game fan will find it fun to play and full of surprises, and that a Harry Potter fan will find everything exactly right, that fits with their imagination, and that concludes all the details that they'd like.
It certainly feels like it.
Good,
from what I've seen.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So you said, is there no speech at all in the game? So it's completely international,
yes,
isn't it?
That's correct. Our characters don't need to talk; they express themselves through their animation and the way they behave.
Yeah. So I guess that makes it very easy to sell it on an international scale to all markets at the same time, and because I know that's been a challenge for other Harry Potter games.
Really? I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
it
means that yes, we speak an international language of which is good.
Yeah. So you've got 140 characters in there.
That's right.
How many of those are actually named characters from the books and movies?
I'm not sure. I would have to check. I mean, I think almost all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the vast majority certainly, because there are a lot of characters in that very rich world. And where we've got a named character, we'd naturally make them.
Okay.
So I think possibly almost all of them is going to be the answer.
Excellent. Is it tough getting them? Well, because I guess you don't have the names of each character every time you meet them. So how hard is it to actually make a character recognisable?
It's much less hard than we thought it might be. We find that the characters, because they're all distinctively dressed, they all act in, they are so well drawn in the fiction.
Yeah.
You know, they come to life in the fiction that we need only a very, very little hint, and they stand out. We weren't sure how effective that was going to be, but we find as we built it that it's not a problem at all because the characters are so good.
And so, has your main inspiration been actually the movies or the books?
Jointly, I mean, everything comes from the books.
Yeah.
In the world of Harry Potter, so that's all there. That's the richest material. Obviously, we're making something that moves, that's visual, that's got performances in it. So we draw. You know, the movies have done a really good job there that we can draw upon as well.
So, for example, when you're creating a set, would you do your best to match the movie set, or will you just try to?
We probably, the movie place is probably a very good place to start.
Yeah.
They've probably done a lot of work already that we'd naturally match.
The people who worked on the game, how many of them were really hardcore Harry Potter fans?
At least 10. I mean,
Okay.
you know, a good proportion. Enough that there are some very fun arguments about exciting, real details about what magic goblins can do, for example, and what exactly you would expect to find in certain very specific rooms of Hogwarts. So yeah, enough that we have some good discussion.
Are you one of them?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You know, as you play in the world, you come to I love it, and I'm lucky enough to have children who love it as well. So you know, we've really been able to live in it and discover new things.